My name is Eleanor and I'm 67 years old. I've lived through many seasons of life, joys, losses, triumphs, and quiet moments of reflection. For most of my later years, I found comfort in routine, tending to my garden, reading old novels, and keeping in touch with distant family. I had grown accustomed to the rhythm of my days, where nothing extraordinary ever happened. But life, as it always does, had other plans for me. Plans that would awaken a part of me I thought was long dormant. It began on a rainy afternoon in early autumn. The leaves were turning golden and crimson, their colors bright against the gray skies. I was sitting by my kitchen window, sipping a cup of chamomile tea, watching droplets race down the glass. The house was quiet, except for the occasional creak of the old wooden floor and the soft ticking of the wall clock. That peaceful stillness was interrupted by a knock at the door. I wasn't expecting anyone, and my heart skipped a beat as I moved toward the entrance. When I opened it, I found a man standing there, soaked from the rain, holding a small box wrapped in plain brown paper. "Hello, ma'am," he said with a gentle smile. "I'm sorry to bother you, but my car broke down just down the street and my phone died. I was wondering if I might use your phone to call for help." There was something honest and humble about his request. Despite the interruption, I felt a surprising warmth at the sight of this stranger, whose clothes clung to him from the rain. His eyes hopeful but tired. "Of course, come in," I said, stepping aside. As he entered, I noticed the softness in his features, the way he carried himself with quiet dignity despite his apparent hardship. After he made his call, we shared a brief conversation over a cup of tea I prepared. His name was Daniel, a traveling craftsman who repaired furniture and had been on the road for weeks. His stories were simple yet rich with the kind of wisdom only a life lived fully could bring. Over the next few weeks, Daniel's visits became a comforting routine. Whenever his car needed fixing or the skies threatened rain, he found his way back to my door. We began sharing meals, exchanging stories of our youth, our regrets, and the moments that had shaped us. I remember one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of pink and lavender, we sat on my porch wrapped in shawls. Daniel spoke of his travels, of the people he'd met, and of the kindness strangers had shown him, just like I had. That night, a thought struck me. Kindness was a language anyone could speak, regardless of age or circumstance. And through Daniel's presence, I realized how much I had missed connection beyond my familiar walls. Soon we started gardening together. My hands, once steady but cautious, learned to dig and plant with renewed energy. Daniel showed me how to nurture not just plants but hope. We planted herbs, tomatoes, and wildflowers, each seed a promise of growth and renewal. One crisp morning, I found myself laughing freely at a story Daniel shared about a mischievous cat he had befriended in a small coastal town. That laughter stirred something deep inside me, a reminder that life still held moments of joy and surprise, even now. We often talked about dreams long set aside. I confessed that I had always wanted to write a book, to capture the stories and lessons of a life well lived but never dared to start. Daniel encouraged me, reminding me that it was never too late to begin anything worth pursuing. With his support, I dusted off my old journals and began writing. Some days, words flowed easily like water over stones. Other days, memories brought tears and hesitation. But each sentence was a step forward, a reclaiming of my voice and purpose. Daniel never asked for anything in return. His kindness was pure, born of a heart that had weathered storms and yet remained open. He was a mirror reflecting back the strength I'd forgotten I possessed. One day, as the first snowflakes of winter began to fall, Daniel confessed that he had found a permanent home in our little town. He didn't just want to visit anymore. He wanted to belong. And in that moment, I realized that through simple acts, sharing tea, planting seeds, telling stories, we had both found a new beginning. Life doesn't always announce its transformations with fanfare. Sometimes it's in the quiet gestures, the unexpected friendships, and the courage to open our hearts again. At 67, I had rediscovered not just companionship, but a renewed zest for living. And it all started with a stranger's knock at my door on a rainy afternoon. Now, as I write these words, the garden blooms vibrant outside my window, and the warmth of connection fills the air. I've learned that no matter our age, life always holds the promise of new chapters, waiting only for us to turn the page.